Mark, you mentioned at the end of the last series that learning how to problem solve together was sort of the bigger picture skill. How much do you kind of anticipate that experience is going to help you moving into this series and needing to be adaptable again against a different type of opponent?
Yeah, I think that's the mark of any playoff series, just with how familiar you become with the opponent, and how much you're interacting with them in a short period of time. And I thought that was a strength of our last series for sure. That team threw a lot of different things at us. There were a lot of problems we had to solve on both ends of the floor, and the guys did a great job of just staying present, staying focused on that. And even though we don't know what the problems are going to be that we're going to have to solve in this series, we know that they'll be here, and then we'll need to do that again. But I thought that was a strength of our last series.
I know talking about Alex Caruso scaling up on defense is one thing in the offseason, but to see the different matchups he's been capable of in this postseason, like, sort of from what you can say, like, what do you anticipate the bandwidth of, like, his range of coverages might entail in this series, and how confident are you with that?
I'm very confident in him and the rest of our players, but it's hard to know. I think this is a team that is playing exceptionally well right now. They've played great since they've been fully whole. In our games, we played them in a very condensed period of time, which you mentioned yesterday, and nobody was whole for those games. So like we didn't have Chet the first time around. They were missing Randall, Gobert at other times, Conley, I think. And so it's kind of hard to use those games. Denver, we played late in the season, fully whole twice. And that gave us like a pretty good baseline with that team and them, us. And this is different. So tonight's more about establishing a baseline in the series, and understanding where we're starting, and then going from there. And that's, with Alex, with our team, with everybody.
Coach, what's been the key for this team not packing its age this season?
It's the character of the players. These guys are big time people first and foremost. They come from big time families. When you meet their circles, usually it's their families, their parents. They make a lot more sense, and I think that goes a long way, because 82 games is a long time. There's a lot of bus rides. There's a lot of ups and downs in that, and the character of the person really matters. And they've been an uncommon team relative to their age, and I attribute a lot of it to that. And then because they're like-minded, they're competitive, they're inside the team, it builds momentum when they're around each other. It's just a very strong locker room that gets stronger when they're together. And at last series, we had a lot of success this season and stayed together through success, which isn't always easy. Last series, we had a ton of adversity and a lot of challenges, and their ability to band together in those situations was very impressive to me.
Mark, you said you liked your shot quality from three last series. They obviously didn't go in, but
some of them did, Joe. 32% of them did.
Some of them did. If you want a higher percentage than that, is that just like keeping faith in the system, like positive regression is coming, or what do you sort of tell the guys on that?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very tricky thing to coach and overcoach. It's everybody has quality threes for them. It's different for every player, but they've done a great job of identifying what those shots are. I think like 85% of the threes we took in that series were above our threshold, and when that's the case, you just have to bet on that. Now, it's also the most variant part of the game, which was on display in the last series as well. And we've made a habit of being able to overcome hot shooting nights by our opponent and poor shooting nights by ourselves and still win. I think we won 24 games where we shot less than 35. I think we won 28 games where our opponent shot more than 35. And this is a team that controls what it can control, and we want to be able to manufacture a win even on a night where we don't shoot it well. But we just want to stay true to the taking the right shots and keep the guys confident stepping into those shots, and we'll continue to do that until the rest of the time.
Mark, after Game 7, J-Dub mentioned the phrase "be where your feet are." As you guys continue on this next step towards your goal, how important will it be for this team to hold tight to a phrase like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's last series. It was easy to get caught in the past. I mean, we were down 2-1, and we had won most of our minutes in that series, and it's easy to look backwards and be regretful or feel sorry for yourself. And that's not the solution. The solution is the present moment, the next game, the next possession. And then it's easy to look ahead, when you go up 3-2 or when, you're in the conference finals, and that's not the solution either. And so I'm glad to hear that he's in that, mind frame, and we need to be the most present team we can be, in this series.
Mark, when the fourth quarter of your last meeting here with Minnesota, they made an effort to get the ball out of Shea's hands at the top of the floor, and obviously the offense didn't quite convert out of that. But just in the last few months, how much more comfortable has the team gotten in executing it with that kind of look, assuming you might see it again here?
Yeah, I mean, we were comfortable before that. I mean, that was one of those nights, if you go back and watch that game, where it's you're just kind of laughing, like we're missing wide open shots, we're missing not wide open layups, but layups that we can finish. I thought our attacks in that game were pretty good. It was just one of those games. You play 82 of them, and there's going to be a game or two or five, where you just kind of have a night like that, and then you have the opposite kind of nights. And we were comfortable with the way we attacked that night. We know that's a possibility with this team. They're going to throw a lot of different things out. They're very well coached. They have a lot of different schemes that they can go to, and we'll have to be ready for all of them. But we don't overreact to one game, especially when our process is as good as it was that night.